Welcome back to the Fit Executive Show, everyone. I'm your host, Arne Waldner, and I hope you're having a great day so far. Thank you for spending your time with me. I mean, you could be anywhere in the world, and I really appreciate you sharing your most valuable resource, your time, with me here today. So, before we dive into today's topic, I want to acknowledge something. This show keeps growing and growing like crazy, and that's because of you. You're sharing this, you're reviewing this on iTunes and Spotify, and you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. So the word of mouth, I don't take that lightly. And if you've gotten results or value from the show, and you haven't left a comment yet, then please review it. Tell us what you get out of this, what questions you have, and also if today's episode hits, send it to a friend, share it with your team. But now let's get straight into it. So today I'm talking about the one thing that no matter how much money you have, how much success you have in life, no matter how hard you try, no matter how badly you want to, you simply cannot outsource it. And I get to what this is in a moment. But first I want to kind of set the stage for who this episode is really for. So this is for the high performer who has built a good life for himself. And you're the person who can walk into a great restaurant, order what you want, never once glance at the right side of the menu. You're not losing sleep over feeding your family. You're navigating the world from a position of real strength, financially, professionally, and socially as well, right? You have a very healthy lifestyle in many, many ways. And by almost any objective measure, you're winning. And because you're winning, you've internalized one of the most powerful lessons available to someone operating at your level, which is the value of outsourcing. So you already understand, like viscerally, not just theoretically, that your time is worth more than your money. And that the highest use of your hours is not mowing your own lawn or washing your own car. And it's also not handling every task in your business yourself. You have built systems, you have hired specialists, you've hired people, right? You've paid for convenience, for speed, for leverage, and you've bought back your time. I'm actually reading this book right now. Dan Martell, shout out to you. Great stuff so far, only in the beginning. But basically, it's about reinvesting time into building more leverage again, right? Focusing on the stuff that you are good at. And you probably have someone who handles your laundry and your dishes, and maybe you have a lawn service, a car service, a personal assistant. Maybe your business runs without you already, right? Without you touching things that don't require you. And this is how elite operators think. And it separates them from the people still doing everything themselves and wondering why they're not getting ahead. And I absolutely love this mentality. I live by it. Efficiency is a competitive advantage, and protecting your time is one of the highest forms of self-respect available to a leader. But here's where where even the most sophisticated high performers oftentimes get it wrong. There is this one area, and it's a non-negotiable area, where the outsourcing mindset completely breaks down, and where no amount of money, no system, no shortcut, and also no team can do the work for you, right? You cannot outsource your fitness. And I generally wish I could eat the food for you and take the bar off your back, and wish I could send someone else to do your lunges and have your squats, or have their squats screaming for you, right? Right? And you just collect the results. I wish that is how it worked, but it doesn't. And no matter what you're worth, no matter how much you're willing to spend, no matter how badly you want the shortcut to exist, it doesn't. And you cannot outsource the physical adaptation that happens inside a body being trained consistently and fueled correctly over time. And yet, So many of the executives that I work with have spent years quietly, unsuccessfully trying to do exactly that, like not consciously, but in the way they approach fitness, always searching for the version that asks the least of them personally, like cut the carbs for 6 weeks and do the detox and eat from meal prep container, like try the new protocol everyone's talking about, and the 6 week challenge, the 12 week transformation, the 75 hard, the new year, new approach. And here's the problem with all of it: you cannot sustain what you don't understand. Okay, so if you don't understand it, like, you cannot and will not sustain it. And 95% of people who lose any significant amount of weight, they gain it all back. And not because they are undisciplined and not because they are weak, but because they followed a system they never truly internalized. And the moment the external structure disappears, the results disappear with it, because the knowledge never transferred and they were renting the result instead of owning it. And this is why meal prep containers aren't the answer. Nobody, like, no matter how committed you are at the start, but you are going to, or you're not going to eat out of a plastic container, like, not every single meal for the next 52 weeks, right? Life happens, restaurants happen, travel happens, client dinners happen, birthday parties happen. And you don't want to run around with your Tupperware container bringing your chicken and broccoli to the birthday party. And you also don't want to like get out your app and your scale, like your food scale, right? You don't want to like sit at the client dinner and be like, hey man, you can start without me, I'm just quickly need to log my calories. I mean, your nutrition system needs to be flexible and smart enough to survive these scenarios. And this is kind of like the foundation for the Fit Executive method and why it's built the way that it is. We don't hand you a plan and then send you off, right? Other programs will hand you a meal plan PDF and here's your workout PDF. And this is basically the same stuff that everybody else gets, right? That might have worked for the founder. But we need to build the flexibility into your system and then teach you how to include the piece of cake at the birthday party, and also teach you why it works this way so that you actually understand it and you internalize the principles, right? So, and then you can adjust the principles. So one principle, for example, is first of all, before we even start, is we do your blood work. We like need to understand what gives us the highest leverage from your biochemistry perspective, right? The program has to be calibrated based on what your body actually needs, and not just a generic template that was built for the statistical average that just isn't you, right? Nobody is the statistical average. We also do a lifestyle assessment and we do a personality analysis, just like your HR department, because every client we work with has a different personality and the plan also has to resonate with their mind, right? For the lifestyle analysis, for example, we analyze how much do you travel, what airports do you fly out of, what airports do you fly into, what hotels are you staying at, what restaurants do you go to when you entertain clients, what are the favorite menu items. So become prepared, right? And then we design the nutrition system or your nutrition system using our 5S system. And the 5 S's are speed and simplicity, number 1 and 2. So it has to be quick, it has to be simple. You don't want to spend hours each day in the kitchen cooking meals with complex ingredients that you've never heard of before. It just has to get the job done on most days of the week. And then if on the weekend you want to pull out the Gordon Ramsay in you and put out a 5-course meal, be my guest. But again, most days speed and simplicity wins. Okay. Then the third S, satiety or satisfaction. I want you to lay in bed at night feeling satisfied, feeling full, right? You shouldn't be hungry all the time. The fourth S then is the social flexibility. So again, it has to work when you're eating with others. Okay, it cannot like crumble down and you're like, oh man, I guess I start on Monday. I have a client dinner, right? And then the fifth S is super tasty. And that means we include your favorite foods, whether that's pasta or bread that you might want to eat with your kids, or I I don't know, like for me, it's cheesecake, right? I always have to have a piece of cheesecake, like once a week. Pizza, one of my favorite foods, right? Alcohol. I'm a big foodie. I'm also a beer connoisseur, and I love drinking good wine, right? I don't have to have that every single day, but you know what I mean here, right? So we have to include these things, otherwise it's gonna feel like you're dieting. And yes, you can keep this up for a while, but then as soon as life gets a little bit crazy, you give in, and then you slowly but surely go back to your old patterns and habits, and then slowly but surely you self-sabotage the results that you've built until this point, right? So we need to prevent the self-sabotage from happening in the first place and fix the root cause. So we build a nutrition system that works around the foods that you generally enjoy, with specific strategies for client dinners, work travel, time zone changes, and every other reality that comes with running something at your level. And then, if you ever have a quick question, we have a 24/7 concierge support. So clients love to send us their wins. For example, when they were able to put on a pair of pants that they haven't been able to wear in 10 years, they like to send us this and we celebrate together. But then also very practical scenarios. You send us a link to the restaurant where you meet your client at night or your wife for date night. And then you can even say like, okay, this client always wants to drink a bottle of wine with me. Like, what do I do? And then we analyze the menu for you and point out the best options based on your preferences so that you stay on track, right? But all you have to do is show up and execute. So that is one thing that we do with you. And we also have a weekly one-on-one call where we not only review your past week and see if you hit your goals or not, hold you accountable, but we also look at your calendar for the upcoming week, and then we see, okay, is he traveling? Is he like any events, birthday invitations, right, where you might want to eat a piece of cake? And then we map out the goals and the KPIs for that week and the action items, the strategy for that week specifically. And then we book the next call for the upcoming week. And you know already, okay, on Tuesday, I'm going to meet my coach again. And I have to deliver, right? I don't want to show up empty-handed to these calls. So we constantly monitor your data for you, analyze it. For example, how much deep sleep you're getting, how much REM sleep you're getting, your recovery rate, a bunch of other markers that we monitor so that you don't have to figure that part out yourself. And we will also teach you how to do this yourself, how to analyze the data around your body yourself so that you understand how to manipulate your body composition at any given time. And the point here is that once you understand your body's data, you manage your physiology the same way that you manage your business, with real information, not guesswork. And you will understand cause and effect. So we actually want you to become independent at some point and become your own coach and walk around as a brand ambassador for Fit Executive and recommend us to all of your network. And once that understanding is in you, once you see food and training and recovery the way we teach you to see it, you can't mess it up any longer, okay? You would literally have to try. And because it becomes part of who you are, it becomes part of your identity. And it, like, once it's the new way you operate and not just a temporary behavior that you're white knuckling your way through, then your results will be lasting. If it's fun to get the results, then it will be fun to maintain the results afterwards. Okay, so fun is the magic bullet here, if there is any magic bullet. So that is the real edge, not the six-pack that comes, okay? But the real edge is that you walk into every room, every meeting, every negotiation as your sharpest, most capable self. And the confidence isn't performed, it's structural, it's inside of you. It comes from knowing what you can do and what your body can do. And yes, you will have to bring some discipline and self-leadership, right? That is what other people see in you. And The confidence comes from keeping promises to yourself, showing up for yourself consistently, knowing that the standard you hold in your business is the same standard that you hold in your body. And this is what other people will see in you. And this is why the six-pack is so attractive. It requires some work and self-leadership and also self-love, self-investment. You need to invest time, money, energy, effort into the result. And everybody knows this. And the bottom line is that this is the one thing that I want you to take away from this. We can make it as easy as possible for you with a custom tailored, flexible system that checks all of your boxes. Maybe not my boxes, maybe not your neighbor's boxes, but your boxes. And it's gonna be doable for you. And it's gonna be as efficient as it can be. You will see progress week after week, and we will make sure that you get results. We even guarantee results, or you get your money back, right? So no risk, no strings attached. Like, all you have to do is show up and execute and tell us something, like if something is working, if something is not working, so that we can adjust the system for you. So working with us comes as close as possible to delegating your fitness, like to a team of experts with tons of experience working with other business owners and executives over 40. That's all we do, and we have no other job but to get you the best results possible. But you will still have to put in the work. Okay, I cannot eat the food for you. I cannot lift the weight for you. I cannot go to bed for you. I cannot hydrate for you, right? There is no magic bullet and no shortcut. Fitness doesn't care what's in your bank account. It doesn't care what your title is or how impressive your portfolio is. It doesn't respond to your negotiating skills or your network. It responds to one thing: consistent, intelligent effort applied over time. It is the most honest, most democratic system in the world. You either do what it takes and you can make that efficient and fun, and that's exactly what we do here at Fit Executive, or you keep trying to shortcut a system that does, like, it simply doesn't allow shortcuts. And the good news is, and this is important, it doesn't take as much as you might think. You don't need 2 a days. You don't need to spend hours on a cardio machine. You don't need to suffer. You don't need to eat rabbit food. You don't need to cut out carbs or alcohol. 3 to 4 sessions per week, 30 to 45 minutes each, a nutrition system you actually understand and you can apply everywhere or anywhere in the world, recovery tracked and optimized, accountability built around your life, not a generic program, and that's it. And our clients go from average to elite, not in 6 weeks, but for life. And I can tell you one thing, like having lost 50 pounds myself, it won't matter to you if you achieve your goal physique, your dream body a month earlier or a month later. All that will matter to you is that you see the man in the mirror that you feel proud of and that you know that you became that person who fell in love with the lifestyle, okay? Our clients will tell you it's one of the most leveraged investments they've ever made, not just in their body, but in their presence, their performance, their longevity, and in like every relationship they are in, their love life, them being a role model for their kids. So my challenge to you before we close tonight, before you get in the shower, take off your shirt and stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself honestly, not harshly, but honestly. And then ask yourself one question: is this representing the standard I hold in every other area of my life? Is this representing excellence? And for some of you listening, the answer is yes. You've done the work. You're elite in your body and in your business. And I have tons of respect for that. Okay, it takes real commitment to get there and stay there. And for the rest of you, I mean, you already know the answer. And you already know what needs to change. And the only question is whether you're ready to stop trying to outsource the one thing that has to come from you or not, okay? And if this episode resonates or resonated with you, we're basically done here. Share it, leave a review on iTunes, on Spotify. That's the only thing that I'll ever ask for you in return for the show. And again, I'm grateful that you're here. I see you next week.